everyone, Michelle here. Going to do a book review. I know, I haven't done one of these in a while, and I'm sorry I didn't do a Divine Misdemeanors book review, but whereas I love anything by Laurell K Hamilton, I love the Anita Blake books more so than the Mary books, so I'm more prone to do an Anita review than a Mary review. Sorry guys. So this is book number, I don't know, 18, 19, something like that in the Anita Blake series. And this one is really small. It's only got, how many of the actual story? It's only got 158 pages of actual story. But then she actually went and did an afterwards. It explains, how she comes up with her ideas and how, Anita being, I guess, self-conscious about her is actually, real life for Laurell, and how her grandmother used to tell her she was ugly, and, Anita actually says in the book that my grandmother used to tell me I was ugly. But anyway, in this book, it's got Micah, Jason, Nathaniel, and two new little characters. Well, actually there's three, but I don't count the girl because she's a witch and she was only in there for 10 pages. But Anita is approached by two different clients wanting to raise the dead. Now, the first one is Tony Bennington, and basically he wants his wife raised from the dead, even though her body was part of an explosion, which means fire, which means multiple pieces. And Anita tells him, I'm not going to do that, because Bennington pretty much, is I want her back to be my wife, if you know what I mean. And Anita was like, no, I'm not going to raise a dead so you could, have her around the house and make her do your housework and pretty much be your slave, your zombie slave. So she said no to him. And then she had another client that same day named Natalie Zell, I believe her name was. I want to say, yeah, Natalie Zell. So anyway, she pretty much comes to Anita and says, I want you to raise my husband pretty much so I can murder him, because Anita brings back these really lifelike zombies that have feelings and, can feel fear and excitement and happy and joy and whatever. But this Natalie chick who's got bazillion loads of money, says, tell Anita, I want you to raise him so I can kill him with an axe. And Anita's like, no, I'm not going to raise your dead husband so you could just kill him over and over again, And then to top it off, Natalie wanted Anita not to put him back in the ground like she's supposed to, but to bury the pieces all over the place so he could still continue to feel the pain. And so Anita tells him no. Well, after that, then Anita goes out to lunch with Nathaniel, Jason, and Micah. And the waiter, I should say, there starts to flirt with Nathaniel and Jason, and Anita's not comfortable with it because she's not comfortable with her own sexuality, even though she's forced to have sex with all these different people. So they go about their life, blah 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 blah. Days go by, and Anita goes back to the same restaurant, gets the same waiter, and as she's about to wrap it up to, go back to work, she is approached by two different men. One is Nikki and one is Jacob. Yep, Nikki and Jacob. And they're pretty much bad guys. And so it's pretty much, you come with us, or we have snipers on, Micah. We have a sniper on Jason. We have a sniper on Nathaniel. If you want him to live, you bring your ass with us and do what we want you to do. So Anita's thinking, great, it's the crazy bitch that was in my office who wanted me to raise her husband. Well, she was wrong. It was actually that Tony Bennington guy that hired Jacob and Nikki to kidnap her. So the little twist is Jacob and Nikki are lions. Now, as you know, Anita carries all different flavors of lichen within her body. You know, there's the wolf, there's the leopard, the lion, and oh, I know there's one more. I just can't think of it right now. But anyway, she has a mate for the wolf, which is Richard. The leopard is Micah. And then there's the lion, which she doesn't have any for. Yes and no, she doesn't. And because in one of her books, she did meet a guy, they did have sex, and he pretty much became her slave. But that doesn't count because he wasn't, like, alpha enough. So anyway, in this book, you know, Jacob and Nikki are both lions, and they have no pard, no, like, home to call their own. So you get the gist of it. Nikki and Jacob realize that Anita's lion is in heat and is calling out to them, so they fight. And, you know, Anita does what she does. You know, she gets knocked out, and then she's, like, really, really tired. She has to feed off one of the two, and she chooses to feed off of, I want to say Nikki, because he's, like, even though Jacob is the Rex of his pride, and Nikki is just like, you know, the second banana. So they both end up fighting over Anita, but she got knocked out by the third guy, who is not really, yeah, he's in the book. His name is Silas, but Anita pretty much guts him, and so he's not even, like, a main factor. But anyway, Anita's in this, like, building, and she's, like, tired and can't raise the zombie, so, you know, pretty much everybody's gonna die if she doesn't get her energy back. So she ends up fucking Nikki and, like, taking all his will away. And, of course, you know, by the end of the book, she does raise the zombie, and she has all this extra energy because when she gutted Silas, he actually made it to the graveyard. And she needed a white goat, she needed a human sacrifice, and the meth addict that Silas went and kidnapped for this deed actually died, so she was no use. So Anita actually ended up using Silas, and since she did use a human sacrifice, she had so much power left that she did the only thing she could do. She raised the whole entire cemetery. And now she's done that in a previous book, I want to say it's Bloody Bones, with Dominga, and pretty much uses the same tact again. She uses the zombies to kill Mr. Bennington, and the zombies also eat Silas's body. And then she lays them to rest. And Jacob and Nikki are like, you know, sorry for the mess we caused you. We didn't really know what you were. Because, you know, Anita's, like, amazing, I guess. And Jean-Claude and them, in the meantime, have realized that something's wrong. Because Jacob's little witch has put up shields that nobody can feel Anita, or she can't feel or get in mind contact with anybody. No Jean-Claude, no Richard, you know, no Asher. But at the end, of course, Anita saves the day. Jean-Claude's pissed off because he couldn't ride in on his little white horse to, you know, save her because dawn came. But Micah, Nathaniel, and Jason all showed up at the cemetery. And, of course, you know, since she, like, mind-fucked Nikki, what was she going to do with him? So she ends up taking Nikki home with her. So another little notch on her bedpost. But it was a really good book. I read it in, like, 4 hours. And I can't wait for Bullet to come out. And if you guys have any questions, you know, leave a little note down at the bottom. Don't forget to hit the little button up here. It's yellow. It says subscribe. And then hit the little bitty red buttons down here that says rate me. Hit all 5 stars. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.